So in this video, I'm going to show you how to boost your terminal productivity with Zsh and Oh My Zsh. Okay, right. So yeah, Oh My Zsh is an open source community driven framework for managing your Zsh configuration. Okay, so Zsh is stands for Zsh shell. Okay, so it's like a better version of bash, okay, which is I think the default terminal for like most developers, like those using macOS or those using Linux. Okay, yeah. For Windows users, they usually don't come with bash installed. Okay, so we are going to cover that. So all right, so let's get started. I use Windows, so I'm going to start like as if you are a Windows user. Okay, good. So for Windows users, because your device or your laptop or your machine doesn't come with the bash or the zsh installed, you need to install like a Linux like terminal. Okay, and that's WSL. Okay, so WSL, it's like Linux on your Windows machine. Okay, so that's what you're going to install. So to install Linux on Windows with WSL, you can come to this site. Okay, I'm going to share it in the description. Okay, so you just open PowerShell as an administrator on your Windows machine, and you simply run the WSL dash dash install command. Okay, this command. So you just have to run this in your terminal, and that's going to install it. Okay. So I already have that installed, but let me show you. This is your PowerShell. So let me run it as an admin. Okay, let me run this as an administrator. All right. So you open your PowerShell as an administrator and you just type the WSL install command. Okay. But because I already have it installed, yeah, it's not going to work. Okay. So yeah, you just follow the steps. Um, just follow the steps shown here, and yeah, it's going to install the Linux on your Windows machine. Okay. Good. So once you have your Linux installed on your Windows machine, the next thing you have to do is installing zsh. Okay, because the default terminal is bash for Windows users. Okay, so to install zsh, you have to yeah. So I'm going to share this link as well. So you come to the installing zsh page, wiki page on the Oh My Zsh GitHub. Okay, so you come here and then you locate your device type. Okay, so because I'm focusing on Windows users for now, you just have to run sudo apt install. Okay, so inside the bash terminal, you just have to run sudo apt install the command. Yeah, you just have to run this command. Okay, so sudo apt install zsh. Okay, zsh, and that will install the zsh terminal for you. Okay, and next you can run the verification by running zsh dash dash version. Okay, and they say you're going to expect this result, but the one you get will probably be different from this one, and that's fine. Okay. Good. And the next thing you have to do is to make your default shell. So you have to run this command to make it as your default shell. Okay. You don't need to run this command because when we are installing the Oh My Zsh, okay, it's going to handle that for us. Okay. So we can skip the making it a default shell for now. Okay. So you just have to install, then check if it's properly installed. Okay. Once you are done with that, you come onto the Oh My Zsh page. Okay, and then you run the install command to install the Oh My Zsh for you. Okay, but before I move on, let me give you an overview of what Oh My Zsh is. So as I was saying earlier, Oh My Zsh is an open source community driven framework for managing your zsh configuration. Okay, so yeah, if that sounds boring, Oh My Zsh will not make you a 10x developer, but to make you feel like one. Okay, yeah. So essentially, it's going to boost your productivity in the terminal. Okay, so you're going to be a lot faster, a lot more productive than using like something like just raw bash or just raw zsh like that. Okay, yeah, good. So yeah, once you get that overview, let's move on to installing the Oh My Zsh. Okay, so we are going to go with the curl we are going to go with the curl command. Okay, so yeah, Oh My Zsh is installed by running one of the following commands. So you can install it via the command line, either with curl or winget. Okay, I think curl comes with installing the WSL. The bash already comes with curl, so you don't have to like reinstall it. But if you are getting any error with that, you can simply search how to install curl. Okay, yes, so as you can see here, it may be pre-installed on your system. Okay, so it's best to check first. Okay, so you don't have to worry about reinstalling it. Okay, right. So yeah, after installing your zsh, you just install the Oh My Zsh using this command. So you just copy everything from the sh up to where the command is here. Sorry, where the yeah, double apostrophe is. Okay, yeah, so you copy up to that end, you copy everything, and then you paste it in your bash. Okay, let me try and exit here and see if it will take me back to bash. No, it's not taking me back to bash. The default is zsh. So okay, let me run the bash command, it will take me back to bash. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so I want to show you how it's going to be like. Okay. I've already done all these. That's what I'm not running the commands myself. Okay. But let me show you an example. All right, this is taking quite long. Yeah, my machine is quite slow, so yeah. Okay, so let's continue. When it comes, I'll show you. Yeah. So you just have to run this command. It's going to install the Oh My Zsh framework. Okay. At some point, it's going to ask you if um yeah, let me confirm. Right. So you'll be prompted if do you want to change your default shell to zsh. Okay. So you have to select yes. Let me show you. So, oh, it's not back. So you have to select yes. The reason being that we didn't run this command earlier, which will set the this as your default. Okay, because you said the Oh My Zsh is going to handle that for us, so that's why we skip that part. Okay, so when you run this command and you are being asked if you want to make zsh as your default, then you have to select yes. Okay, I think it's Y, capital Y, and then slash small n. Okay. The capital Y means that that's the default if you press enter without choosing any option. Okay. So that will make the this the default. Okay. But if you don't want to, actually have to make it. Okay. So that whenever you open the terminal, you don't have to run zsh to like make it activated. Okay. So if you make zsh your default, right when you open your terminal, okay, it will come as zsh. You don't have to run zsh to enter zsh anymore. Okay, so now zsh should become your default. I hope you get it. Yeah. So yeah, it's ready now. Let me run the command to show you. Okay, so before that, let me exit and go to bash. Well, this is taking very long. All right, it's back. So yeah, when you install WSL and you do all the necessary setup, this is how your I mean, I'm using my zsh command. This is how your terminal is going to be like. Okay, so this is how bash looks like. This is how zsh looks like using the default theme. Okay, that's the Razzle theme. Okay, yeah, it said it's not called theme. All right, so this is the default bash. Okay, so this is where you run your command to install Oh My Zsh. Okay, so just press enter, paste it in the bash terminal, and then press enter. So as you can see, I already have the zsh folder installed. I already have it installed. Okay, so I don't have to reinstall it. Okay, but as I said, you'll be prompted to you'll be prompted if you want to make you'll be prompted if you want to make the Oh My Zsh as your default Zsh. Okay, yes, and you have to select yes. Type Y for yes, or just press enter. Y is the default. Okay, yeah. So once you're done, that's basically it. Okay, we are done installing Zsh and Oh My Zsh. Okay, that's for Windows users. So congratulations for making it to this point. Okay. Good. So now let's move on to the next type of users, which is Linux users. Okay. So by default, Linux users have Bash. Okay. So they need to install zsh. That's if you don't already, if you haven't already installed it. Okay. So you just have to follow similar steps as the Windows users. Okay. But here you don't have to install WSL. Okay, because you already have the Linux. Okay. So what you do is come to this page. I'll share the link in the description. Okay. So you also run sudo apt install zsh, and then once you are done with that, you check if zsh is properly installed using the zsh dash dash version command. Okay. So you expect to get something like this, or probably higher, because they keep updating it. Okay. So if you don't get 5.0.8, don't worry, it could be like 5.1 or 5.2 or something. Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, so next you can skip this part too and then move on right away to install the Oh My Zsh. Okay, so you also use this same command. You copy it and paste it in your bash terminal and then press enter. When you're prompted, if you want to make Zsh your default, and select yes, and yeah, whenever you open a new terminal, Zsh should be made the default. Okay, so it will come right away as Zsh and not bash. Good. I hope you get it. Okay. So the next thing we have to do is yeah, let's move on to our next user type, which is macOS users. Okay. So yeah, macOS. I learned that yeah, so since the Catalina I think version, yeah, since the Catalina version, which is the 2029 sorry, 2019 macOS version. Okay, so since that, this has been the default. Okay, so you don't have to install it. So maybe if you are using an older version than 2029, then you have to install this. I believe the yeah, so with that, you use this command to install zsh. Okay, so you won't use the sudo apt to install zsh. However, you're going to use this command. Okay, and you can also skip the making the zsh the default here. Okay, so when you run the oh my zsh command, you'll be prompted if you want to make zsh your default, and then you select yes. Okay. Good. So for macOS users, if you don't have zsh installed, run the brew install zsh to install zsh. But you already have zsh installed. That's if you are using a version of macOS from 2019 upwards. You can just I'm slanging. All right, so you can just go ahead and install Oh My Zsh. Okay, so you also run this same command in your zsh terminal, and then it's going to install Oh My Zsh for you. Okay, when you're prompted to make zsh the default, you select yes. Actually, zsh is already the default here. I doubt you'll be prompted by that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we are done with the installation for all platforms, Windows, Linux, and macOS. Okay, so now let's move on to the next part, plugins. Okay, so yeah, Oh My Zsh comes with a shitload of plugins for you to take advantage of. Okay, so you can take a look in the plugins directory. We'll get there soon. Okay, or in the wiki. Okay, so essentially, plugins are like superpowers that you can add to the Oh My Zsh to make your to improve your or to boost your experience, your terminal experience. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to start with the default plugins that I highly recommend that you add to your plugins list. Okay, so before that, the On My Zsh comes with some default plugins. Let me see. So yeah, let me open it here. Right, I already have. I've already opened one here. All right, so this is the plugins wiki. Okay, yeah, yeah, this is the overview. Okay, by default, if you install On My Zsh initially, it comes with um some existing plugins. Okay, I think the only one is Git. I've forgotten. I've been using Zsh for like quite a long time now. Okay, but I think the default is just Git. Okay, but yeah, I'm going to start with some default plugins that I highly recommend that you add to your plugins list to improve your experience. Okay, so first of all is the zsh-syntax-highlighting plugin. Okay, so this plugin, what it does is whenever you type a command, so let me activate zsh here. Oh, I keep using my zsh command, so let me activate zsh here. Okay, so you see there is no syntax highlighting, it's just gray or is it white? It's just like that, okay. But in Oh My Zsh, you get some really nice syntax highlighting when you are using the Zsh syntax highlighting plugin. Okay, let me switch to this one, which is already ready. All right, so there's an example. Okay, so as you can see, right when I type this command, okay, this one is also active. Let me show you from here. So when I type this, by default in Bash, there is no highlighting. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if the command I'm typing is correct or not. Okay, so for example, when I type the CLR, which stands for clear command earlier, I got an error. Okay, let me go back to Bash for you to see. Hopefully, it doesn't take long. Right, so yeah, you see, I type clear. I don't know if this is a valid or invalid command, so I only know when I press enter, and now it's telling me that clear is not found. Okay, good. So the benefits of using the, let me go back to this, and yeah, the benefits of using the syntax highlighting is it lets you know earlier. So you see, right when I start typing, I get this red thing, okay? Meaning the command I've typed so far is wrong. Okay, let me press enter, you get command not found. Okay, but right when I type a full valid command, it's green. Okay, if I add something again, I get red because that's not a valid command. Okay, so that's the benefit of using the zsh syntax highlighting plugin. Okay, lets you know if the command you are typing is valid or not. Okay, and it also gives you some nice highlighting like this one. So let me go to the main page here. Right, so there's an example. Okay, so before without the this syntax highlighting, you can type something like this: echo, then dollar sign, then quotes, hello world, then some characters. Okay, some, I think, binary characters or something like this. Yeah, you get it right. So yeah, there's nothing like no syntax highlighting, it's just bare raw command. Okay, but with the Z syntax highlighting plugin, you get something nice like this. Okay, you know, echo is a valid command. You know this is a string, and you know that this is um like a special character. You get it. Okay, so that's a very good like it's really improves your experience. Okay, so you know what you're typing is valid or not. Okay, that's the main benefit of using this plugin. Okay, so now let's move on to how to install this plugin. Let me just click it here. All right. I hope you are following so far. Okay. So when I switch tabs, the main tab which I started the recording, um it's gone. So you're not able to see me. Okay. So I'll try my best to be coming back to this tab so that you can see me. Okay. Good. So yeah, let's follow the installation. So because we already have Oh My Zsh installed, okay, you can just go ahead to the Oh My Zsh installation guide. Okay. So using a plugin manager. So to install this command, you need to have Git installed on your machine. I believe by now you probably have Git installed, but for Windows users who install the WSL, you likely don't have the Git installed by default. Okay, so you just go to how to install Git in my WSL. Search something like that. Yeah. So you just run sudo apt update and then sudo apt install git. The why here means that there's going to be a question during the installation, and then you are saying that choose why yes automatically. Okay, yeah. So that's it. You just update your packages and then run the sudo apt install git command. Okay. For Linux users and macOS users, I believe that you already have Git installed already. But if you don't, you can just search how to install Git on your terminal and then follow the steps and then yeah, install it. Okay. So once you have that done, you run this command to clone um, the plugin. Okay. So this will clone the plugin and save it in a special directory. Okay, so this clones the plugin and this will save it in a special directory where the Oh My Zsh can access and apply. Okay, so just copy everything and then paste it in your terminal and run it. Okay, after the installation, you now have to add the new plugin, the zsh syntax highlighting, to your plugins list. Okay, so the command here means that you don't have to copy the command here. It means your existing plugins, then just add the zsh syntax highlighting to it. Okay, the separator is space. Okay, so like I have here, okay, I initially had git and then I'll just add a space and then the zsh syntax highlighting plugin. Okay, once you are done, you close your, oh sorry, I didn't even mention how to open this file. Okay, I'm very sorry about that. So this is the zshrc file. Okay, this is a special file that is created for you after you install Oh My Zsh. Okay, so yeah, this is a special file that contains all the configuration related to your Oh My Zsh yeah, bash terminal. Okay, right. So one way to open it is using, so you first open your terminal. Okay, then you run nano. So I'm going to open it in nano. Nano is like an editor, yeah, just like an a place where you can view text or yeah, files in your terminal. Okay, so you can view files in your terminal, write in your terminal. Okay, text files, like configuration files like this one, you can just use nano to view them. Okay, and edit them or something like that. Okay, without using a graphical user interface like an actual coding editor like Kaiser or let's say VS Code. Okay, so for just this configuration, you're going to use Nano. Okay, so you can use Nano. You type Nano, and then you type this wavy thing, this wavy character, then slash, then dot zshrc. Okay, what this wavy character slash means that you go to the home directory. Okay, so inside the home directory, get the dot zshrc file, the zshrc file. Okay, yeah, so you type that and that's going to open the, okay, let me, all right, so let me exit. Okay, yeah, it's giving me that because I've already opened it in this terminal. Okay, so let me close it here, let me exit here and reopen it. So nano, then the wavy character slash dot zshrc. Okay, right. So this open the zshrc file. I'm very sorry that I didn't mention about this earlier. Okay, right. So this is the file that contains all the configuration for your zsh terminal. Okay, so if you scroll down, you're going to see the plugins part. Okay, you don't have to worry about all these configurations. Okay, you don't have to worry about them. These are just default stuff. Okay, I can go through and then like try and change things and see what the results in. Okay, but I wouldn't recommend. Okay, because that can lead to a lot of issues that will take you a lot of time to fix. Okay, but yeah, you can, let's say, copy some parts and ask AI like ChatGPT, what does this part of my this zsh-rc file do? Okay, or to explain it to you, then you can ask, what if I change it to this, what if I change it to this? Okay, and you can try things out to see how they affect. Okay, right. But you can scroll down and then you go to the plugins line. Okay, then you add your zsh syntax highlighting plugin. Okay, once you are done, you close it using Control and X. Okay, okay. So initially, okay, so let me 908. So I'm going to remove it. Okay, first I'm going to first remove it. Okay, then I'm going to exit. So first I have to write Control O to write out the changes, then press enter to save, then exit. Okay. Whenever you make changes to your zshrc file, okay, like I just did, I just removed the zsh-syntax highlighting plugin. Okay. Whenever you make changes, let me come to here. Whenever you make changes to your zshrc file, you need to apply them. Okay, else it's going to remain as if you have not made any changes to it. Okay, and the way you apply the change is by running this command exec zsh. Okay, exec means execute the zsh, like apply the changes. That's basically what that means. Okay, so you run it and it's going to apply the changes. As you can see, it's taking quite long. Okay. All right. It's taking quite long. Let me come back here. Okay. So I'm going to, I've removed the zsh-rc file. I'm going to add it back. I just want to show you something. Okay. So yeah, it's still running. It's still running. Um, okay. It's taking quite long. Okay. But yeah, essentially that's the flow. Okay. So once you are done, okay, you run this exec zsh command, and that's going to apply the changes. Okay, and then you're going to see the changes right away. Another way is to just save the file, close it, and then open a new terminal. Okay, so open a new terminal is going to like apply the change when the terminal is opening. Okay, so because I ran the zsh command right away, I can see the change right away. There is no syntax highlighting. Okay, as you can see, um it's the color is not turning green. Okay, so the syntax highlighting plugin is gone. Okay, another way that you can apply the changes is by just opening a new terminal. Okay, so that automatically apply that change, right? But if you want to get the new changes right from the existing terminal or your current terminal, you just run the exec zsh command. Okay, right. So if I type clear here too, there is no syntax highlighting. Okay, so let's open our zsh-rc file and let's add the zsh syntax highlighting plugin. Okay. All right. So I'm going to write it out. Control O, press enter to save, then exit. Okay, once I'm done, now run exec ssh. Okay, no syntax highlighting as you can see. Let's try the open a new terminal approach. Okay, so I'm going to open a new terminal and then we will see if the changes is going to be applied. Right, yeah. Okay, it's coming, it's coming. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Yeah, it's done. So yeah, you see the syntax highlighting is back. Okay, so opening a new terminal, apply the change that we made. Okay, yeah, but if you wanted to get the changes right away from your current terminal, you just have to run the exec sh command and it will apply it right away. You don't have to open a new terminal. Okay, good. So that was it for the first plugin suggestion. A general must have or a plugin that I highly recommend that you have. Okay, you've already seen the benefit of it. It lets you know if command you are typing it's valid or not. Okay, and it gives you a beautiful syntax highlighting in your terminal. Okay, very good. Now let's move on to our next plugin. Sorry, Nano. Oh, my bad. Nano. Good. So yeah, the next plugin I'm going to talk about is zsh-autosuggestion. Okay, and before I move on, if you come to this plugins overview here, you're going to see that these are the plugins by the Oh My Zsh community itself. Okay, they're like the internal community. Okay, this is the overview page. Okay, you have the plugins categorized. Okay, and this is a full plugins page. Okay, so if you search for like syntax highlighting, right? So yeah, this is an example of a syntax highlighting plugin. This is another example. Okay, that's not an example. This colorize is one example. Okay, but that's the internal one. The one we just installed is an external syntax highlighting by the external community. Okay, yeah, so if you check these external plugins, I doubt it's there, but yeah, this is the guy. So this is the users, the one who created it. Okay, that's their GitHub account, zsh users. Okay, and that's the repo. Okay, so let me see if it's in the external plugins wiki page. I doubt it's there, though, but let me check. So syntax. It's loading. Loading, loading, loading. It's loading. Okay. Let me see him try again. Oops. Why is it taking so long? It's syntax. Syntax. Okay, so there is no syntax here. Okay. So yeah. But that plugin, it's highly recommended. It's actually highly used by a lot of users. Oh my Zsh users. Okay, yeah. So that is not like it's not an official internal plugin, but it's one that is highly used and recommended by a lot of Oh My Zsh users. Okay, yeah. So that's why I highly recommend that. Okay, but I think you can check out the colorize too. I haven't checked it out, but you can check it out. Okay, so if you want to check it out, you just click on it and it will take you to its page. Okay, so this one with this, you just have to add the colorize thing. You don't have to install any thing like how we did for this one. We don't have to run this git command. Okay, so for colorize you just have to add the colorize to your plugin list and then reopen the terminal or run exec zsh. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I'll definitely check this one out later on and see how it looks like. Okay, but I can also check it out if you want to, but yeah, I think the standard is this zsh-syntax highlighting. I think that's what most people use. Okay. Right. So let's move on to the next recommendation, and that's going to be zsh auto suggestion. Okay. So I don't know if you realized, but when I start typing like this, you see that there is this like autocomplete that's showing. Okay, so it's kind of filling the whole command for me based on the my previous history. Okay, the command history that I've been typing. Okay, so it's suggesting if whether I want to type clear. Okay, so when I start typing C, it's showing CLR. Okay, let's say I run clear. Okay, now when I start typing C, it's showing clear. Okay, so it uses the most recent command, okay, and matches it to see if that's what you want to type auto suggestion. Okay, right. So if you've used code editors like VS Code or Keza, okay, you usually see something like this in the code editor, okay, but this is for terminal. Okay, so it's very useful if let's say you had a very long command like this. Okay, you don't have to type everything in full. You just have to start typing a few and then type right key on your keyboard, right key, and it will just fill them up for you. Okay, not spacebar, not tab. Um, so usually in code editors you use tab to autocomplete. Okay, but with the using the this zsh auto suggestion plugin, you use the right command, sorry, the right key on your keyboard. So you start typing something, use the right key on your keyboard to finish it. Okay, then you can continue. I hope you get it. Okay, but when you use tab, it's going to check the current directory to see the available commands, and it's going to show them as this way. Okay, so you can just keep type using tab to navigate between them and then moving it around. Okay, but for the zsh auto suggestion plugin, you just start typing, let's say docker, and then write to fill it for you. Okay, so this is my most recent command that starts with doc. Okay, good. All right, so how do we install this plugin? To install this plugin, yeah, you come to this repo also by the zsh users. Okay, so yeah, you come to this repo and use the Oh My Zsh installation guide. Okay, so what you do is this one too, you need the git to install that plugin to the special directory. Okay, so you copy it, you paste it in your terminal, then you add the zsh auto suggestions plugin to your plugins list. Okay, then you run you close, you save the changes, you close your zshrc file, and then you apply the changes by either reopening the terminal or you run exec zsh right away. Okay, right. So I already have that, so I'm not going to worry doing it. Okay, I already showed you how to go about this, so yeah, you can just apply it. Okay, good. The next plugin that I highly recommend you add to your plugins list is the Z plugin. Okay, so what's this plugin? Let's come to the plugins list. Scroll down a little bit. Yeah. This is the Z plugin. So this plugin defines the Z command. Okay, that tracks your most visited directories and allows you to access them with few keystrokes. Okay, so let me show you what that means. Okay, right. So let me list my current directory. Okay, so as you can see, I have some folders here. Okay, now let me cd into personal projects. Okay, and let me ls. I don't ls. Should I ls? I don't know. Okay, let me go back. So before that, let me just chip something in right away. Okay, so normally in bash or raw zsh without oh my zsh, okay, you have to run something like cd that dot dot, like to go back. Dot dot means I go back. Okay, right. But one feature of using Oh My Zsh, like it comes with it, is using just dot dot. Okay, triple dot means go back 2 times. I think, yeah, right. It ends with just 6 dots. Okay, so you can go back that much time. Okay, 2 dots for just the previous directory, like go back 1 time. 3 dots, go back 2 times. 4 dots, go back 3 times, and so on. Okay, but in this case, I'm just going to go back 2 times. I don't want to show my personal projects because I don't know. But let me run ls again. And where should I go? Let me see the two lessons. Okay, right. So let me ls again to list the current directory. Okay, and let me see the two Django tutorial. Let me ls again. Let me see the two post. Okay. Now, if I run pwd to show my current directory, you see that I am in home, user, lessons, Django tutorials, and polls. Okay, good. Now, what the Z plugin helps you with is this. So let me cd. If you run cd without anything, to take you to your home directory. Okay, so as you can see, currently I'm in my home directory. Now, the benefit of using the Z command is I can just do Z and pause. It will take me straight away to the post directory without having to run cd, lessons, and Django tutorials and posts. Okay, I don't have to run this multiple thing. Or let's say I was doing it one by one. Let me go back to cd to the home directory. Let's say I was doing it one by one. I have to do cd to lessons, and then once I'm in lessons, I'll check if there is Django tutorials there. I'll cd to Django tutorials. Then I'll now have to check again and cd to post. Okay, so yeah, once you've gone to a directory before, once you've let me come back here. So yeah, the benefit of using the Z command or the plugin is once you've gone to a directory before, you can just run Z and then that folder's name or that directory name right away without having to cd multiple times across the directories. Okay, so you can just wherever you are, you can just Z to the directory that you want to go to. So let me go Z to post. Okay, then once I'm in post, you see the pwd. Let me check the pwd, the current working directory. Okay, I'm in post. Okay, I can just Z to personal projects. Okay, I can just be jumping around. I don't have to be going here first. Okay, so initially, let's say I wanted to move from post to the personal projects. You see, I'll now have to go to my home directory before going to personal projects directory. Okay, but with the help of this Z command, I can just be jumping around. Okay, good. So fortunately, this is a plugin that comes with like it's an internal plugin, so we don't have to install an external package like we did for the the previous plugins, the zsh syntax highlighting and also the zsh auto suggestion key. So what you have to do is to just add you have to add the Z plugin. Okay, you just have to add Z to your plugins list. Okay, so this triple dot here means that your existing plugins, then just add a space and then the Z plugin to that list. Okay, so as you can see from here, I already have that. Once you are done, you save, you close it. Sorry. So once you are done adding your Z plugin to your plugins list, you save the changes, you close your zsh rc file. It's not required, okay, but you save it and then close it and run the exec sh sorry, and then run the exec zsh command right in the current terminal, or you just go and reopen the terminal to apply the changes. Okay, so that's it. And you can be jumping around folders using that command without having to run cd multiple times. Okay, so that's a very useful plugin. Good. So the next plugin I would like to mention is aliases. Okay, aliases. So what is the aliases command? Well, alias is like another way of writing something, right? That's like the English meaning. Okay, so let me go back to the plugins list. I think it's here. Yeah, this is aliases. Right, so aliases, it lists the aliases, okay? Aliases in this ZSH or in this ZSH or Oh My Zsh context usually means like short, okay? Short commands, okay? So usually you have very long commands. An alias of a long command is a short version. That's basically what that means, okay? So usually it's hard to, or let me put it this way, if you want to know all the short versions of or all the aliases of in that you have in your Oh My Zsh configuration or that you have so far, that's when you add this plugin to your plugins list. Okay, so yeah, to install it you just have to add it to your plugins list like that. Okay, so this one, it doesn't show that the triple dot thing, but you just have to append it. Okay, so add it to the end or wherever you want. Okay, so add a space and then the aliases plugin to it, and then close, sorry, save the changes, close, and then run exec zsh, or close and reopen the terminal to apply the changes. Okay, right? So once you do that, you'll be able to access commands like running this ALS. So let me show you how that works. Let me cd it to my home directory. You don't have to, okay, you can do it everywhere. So I'll show you in multiple places. So just run ALS, okay. Running ALS will show you all the aliases you have so far. Okay, so as you can see, we have quite a lot of aliases. Okay, which are what the short forms of long commands. Okay, for example, these are the defaults. Okay, so like I was saying, triple dots will give you go to directory backwards. Okay, running CLR, which is a custom command that I added on my own, will give you clear. Okay, so usually in normal ZSH or in normal bash, okay, in normal ZSH or in normal bash, you have to type CLEAR for clear to clear terminal. Okay, but I found that like quite long, so I just use CLR to clear my terminal key. So what aliases do is you type CLR, but behind the scenes it's going to run the full version. Okay, so that's like a hash map for your actual commands. Okay, so you store the keys are the short versions, and then the values are the actual long versions. So you type the short version, the Oh My Zsh is going to check that map and then run the actual long version. Okay, yeah. So yeah, um these are all the aliases that I have so far, quite a lot. Okay, you see, right? So you say there are lots, but this will help you know what you have available. Okay, good. So that's basically it for the aliases plugin. Okay, there are quite a lot other commands too. Let's say I want to know the aliases. So if you type als, let me cd to personal projects to show you that you don't have to be in the current directory to type it. Okay, so I'm in the personal projects directory. I'll tap als, I'll get the same results. Okay, right? So if I want to know all the aliases for, let's say, .NET, okay, I'll just run, and not everything. Okay, so by default als command will return all the aliases you have so far. Okay, but let's say I want only the aliases for .NET. Okay, I just run als.net and I'll get all the als commands for .NET. So what this means is it's like running als, okay, and then passing the results, piping the results to grep .NET. That's basically what that does. Okay, that's like running ELS and .NET. That's quite like similar, as you can see. Okay, so what that does is it pipes the results and then matches the command that you give it. Okay, Good. So yeah, ELS npm will give me all the commands with npm inside. Okay. So I have npm d stands for npm install in the dev dependency. Okay. So yeah, that's the ELS command. It lets you know the available aliases that you have. Okay. Good. So yeah, the next plugin that I like to talk about is alias-tips. Okay, so this is a very good plugin to talk about right after the ALS command because as you saw earlier, running ALS shows you quite a lot of plugins that it's hard to remember. Okay, so it's hard to like remember all these. You probably not be using all of them. Okay, good. So what this alias-tips command helps you with is this is the alias-tips command. So what it does is when you type a full version, so look at something. Let's say I type get status. When I type something like this, okay, the current directory is not a get directory. That's why I'm getting this error. Okay, but okay, let me do something. Let me check my available aliases and use another one. Um, right. Let me use Python 3. No, Python 3. Okay, right. So that's a perfect example of what the alias tips helps you with. Okay, so let me exit here. Let me run ALS again and search for Python. Right. If you look at this line, the pi is equal to Python 3. Okay, you realize that we already have a short version or an alias for Python 3, the full version. Okay, which is pi. Okay, this is a custom alias that I added on my own, I think. Let me scroll down. Or was it added automatically? Then I added on my own. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Anyways, never mind, never mind. But yeah, essentially, what the alias tips does or what it helps you with is, you see, when I type the full Python 3, it gave this notification or info that the tip is use pi instead, okay, which is basically the same as typing Python 3. So I can just type pi and that will run Python 3, the full version behind the scene. Okay. Another version is using clear info. When I type clear info, if you look closely, you see that the alias tip comes and then the clear applies, but it clears everything. So the last tips is gone. Okay. Yeah. But so yeah, that's basically what the alias tips helps you with. Okay. It helps you remember the short or the aliases of your long commands. Okay, good. So yeah, like we did for the get status, okay, it will show you the tip that you can just use gst, okay, to get the get status. I hope it makes sense. Good. So how do you install this plugin? Install it by using the Oh My Zsh guide. I'm going to add this link in the description. Okay, so this is also an external plugin by this guy. His GitHub username is Joey. Yeah, I think that's the pronunciation. Okay, and the repo is alias-tips. Okay, so you come here to the installation using Oh My Zsh. Okay, so you have to cd to the special directory that Oh My Zsh stores the plugins. Okay, so you cd there and then you run the git clone command there. Okay, so that will install the alias-tips command in that directory. Okay, so once you are done, you open your zshrc um, file. Okay, you can use nano to open it. Okay, so you don't have to use this command, you can just open using nano. Okay, to open your zshrc file, once you open it, you go to the plugins list, then you add the alias-tips plugin to it. Okay, then you save, you close it, then you run exec zsh to apply the changes. or close and reopen the terminal to apply the changes. So yeah, that's it. And you have this very useful plugin. Okay, good. So now I've covered all the general plugins that I highly recommend that you have, okay, to improve your productivity, your terminal productivity. Okay, good. So now let's move on to non-general plugins. Okay, so these are plugins that serve for specific purposes. Okay, an example is Git. Okay, so that's a non-general plugin because if you don't use Git, it doesn't apply to you. But I believe most developers use Git for version control, right? Yeah. So Git is a very useful plugin to add to your plugins list, your Oh My Zsh plugins list. Okay, and I think it comes by default. Okay, so the benefits of having this plugin is mainly for the aliases. Okay, so all these aliases, when you run els git, okay, all these aliases comes with by default when you add the zsh plugin. Sorry, when you add the git plugin to your plugins list. Okay, so you don't have to type all these full commands like git branch. Okay, when you're creating a new branch, gcb, I just type gcb. I don't have to type what is it, els. I'm still in the old. This is an old term now, so I'm not seeing the syntax highlighting. So els gcb. Okay, so yeah, you see that gcb git command I'm talking about. Okay, so git checkout b to create a new branch from the current branch. Okay, so you don't have to be typing all these full git commands by own. Okay, you just have to add a git plugin to your plugins list and you can be running all this, and it will to really improve your productivity. Okay, good. The next non-default or non-general plugin I recommend is npm. Okay, so this is especially useful for web developers and then mobile developers, I think. Okay, I'm not sure for desktop or developers. Okay, but I believe most web and mobile developers use npm as their package manager. Okay, so yeah, you can add that one too. So if you check the plugins list, you can search for npm. Let me go up. Yeah, you can search for npm and add it to your plugins list. You just have to open your zshrc file, give a space in there, and then add the npm package, and then save, and then apply the changes by restarting or running exec zsh right in the current terminal. Okay, good. So that will also give you a lot of als. Let me show you a lot of npm aliases. Okay, right, but sometimes too, you have to add some by your own. If you come to my zshrc file, so if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that I have custom um, npm. Okay, so actually they're not there anymore because I'm now using ban. I use ban nowadays. Okay, so yeah, I use ban nowadays, so I'm not having those npm packages. But I think these are the defaults. Okay, so npm d will run npm I, then dash d, npm f, npm I dash f. Okay, you get it right. So those are the aliases that comes with adding this plugin. Okay, so it provides completion as well as adding many useful aliases. You see, okay. The same with Git. If you search for Git, um yeah, you search for the git plugin. Where is it? Yeah, this is a git plugin. So this also provides many aliases and a few useful functions. Okay, so you can check down and out. The next non-general plugin that I use that you could add to your plugins list is conda. Okay, so I use mini conda for data science related projects. Okay, so you can add that one to your list. You can search for conda in the plugins list. Okay, so this one also provides useful aliases for conda. Okay, usually installed via anaconda or miniconda. Okay, yeah. So you install conda via anaconda or miniconda. I installed via miniconda. Okay. Right. So next is Python. Okay. So the Python plugin, where is it? Where is it? Yeah. So this also adds several aliases for useful Python commands. Okay. You can add that to your plugins list. If you're a Python developer, that's a good to have. I also have pip tool. Pip. This is a package manager for Python. So this also has auto completion for pip, and I think it also adds aliases to, let me check, als pip. Right. So it also adds some useful shortcuts or aliases for you too. So you have pp for pip install, pip r, yeah, what is it? Yeah, pip rec to like pip freeze to like save your packages into a requirements.tsc file. So yeah, that's also there. Another one I recommend is Docker. So okay, if you do DevOps tabs, you can also add Docker plugin to your list. Okay, so that one also provides auto completion as well as aliases. Okay, there is also Docker Compose. You can add that one to, as you can see, I have that one too, and .NET. Okay, so I use .NET. If you use .NET, you can also add that to your plugins list. So that will provide completion as well as aliases. Okay, for the .NET CLI um, library. Okay, yeah. So that's basically it for plugins. Okay, so that's it for plugins. I hope you understand all that I've talked about so far. Yeah. So a few notes before we move on. A few notes that I want to share is adding custom aliases. Okay, so let me go back. Let me open the zsh-rc file. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about adding your custom aliases. Okay. So it's not always that you're going to have like an alias by adding a plugin. Okay. So maybe you have a custom alias, but let's say you have a custom Docker command that you run. Okay. But the Docker plugin only provides some basic aliases that applies to like most scenarios. Okay, but you have a special scenario, you have a special command that you run frequently and it's very long. Okay, so you can add your own alias to your zshrc file so that you don't have to type everything in full. Okay, so the way you do it is by scrolling down. Okay, so you scroll down, then you skip. So when you get the plugins, okay, so after the plugins you see this source um line. Okay, you skip that one to, then scroll all the way down to the aliases part. Okay, so after the example aliases, this is where you can add your custom aliases. Okay, so there are some default ones that have already been commented out, which are the zsh config, which will open the zsh-rc file using meet. I'm not sure what that is. Let me see. So I don't have that. Okay, so it will use meet. It's probably an editor or something, I'm not sure. That will open your zsh rc file for you. Okay, and then another using meet to open the Oh My Zsh. So you have to type Oh My Zsh, not the full meet Oh My Zsh. You get it right? Good. So right after those lines, you can bring another line, then add your custom aliases. Okay. So the format or the syntax is alias space your custom alias, then equal to, then the full version. Okay. So here an example, npm Prisma aliases that I use. So I in Prisma I usually have to, let me change all of this to ban because that's my default now. Okay, so instead of npx I'm using banks, right? All right, so yeah, in Prisma usually I have to run npx, or let me currently banks, so banks prisma migrate dev. Okay, So apply migrations, okay. Um, or like apply migrations with some name, or push, or run the Prisma Studio, or run the Prisma generate command, or the Prisma db seed command. Okay, so I've added these custom aliases that I don't have to type everything in full now. Okay, so I use pmake to represent Prisma migrate, pmake n to represent Prisma migrate n. Okay, you get the idea, right? So now it's very fast. I just type this and it's going to match the correct and then run it in, behind the scene for me. I don't have to type everything in full now. You get it? So this is a very useful way to like improve your productivity. Okay, so other ones are banning to install, ban install, banner to ban add, ban add to ban as add as a dependency, ban dev to run the ban dev command, ban sd to run the ban start dev command. This for next.js. Okay, so you get the idea, right? This is the custom one that I added. So CLR for clear, RMD for remove, with the dash R recursive and then dash F, command forced. Okay, this is to forcibly remove a directory, okay, or a file. Okay, and then some custom development tools. So I have export tunnel to run npx. Let me use banks. Export start tunnel command. Okay, I have jn for Jupyter notebook. I don't have to type Jupyter notebook full. Okay, so I think I checked in this plugin, but I didn't find Jupyter, right? That's why I added my own Jupyter notebook shortcut. Okay, good. So now, yeah, you know that something could go wrong with this. Okay, what could go wrong? Okay, now what could go wrong with this is, yes, I did some changes. Let me apply. All right. And because I made some changes, let me run the exec.zsh. So apply the changes. Right. So one thing you have to be aware of, okay, or to, yes, something you have to be aware of when creating your custom plugins is that, sorry, when creating your custom aliases is there could be an existing alias that if you add your own alias that is exactly the same as that existing alias, is going to overwrite that. Okay, and that's could lead to a lot of issues. Okay, so how do you know if a command is existing or not? Okay, so before you add any alias to your custom alias list, okay, I highly recommend that, let me run it here. I highly recommend that you run that command first. So let's say I want to add a custom alias called macOS. Okay, currently I don't have macOS command, as you can see from here. So it's showing red, meaning I don't have a command called macOS yet. So what do I do now? That means the macOS command is available to me to use as my own custom command. Okay, so I can run nano zsh. I want to show you an example. So now let's see alias mac mac os means ls means list the directories, right? So I'm going to save and exit, yeah. So once I'm done, when I run macOS, you see I haven't applied the changes, so it's still red. Okay, but after I apply the changes, running exec.zsh, it's taking quite long. Taking quite long, taking long, taking long. All right, all right. See, I want to show you like you can create any custom command that you want, provided that it doesn't exist. Okay, and then also you might add a command that doesn't exist like during the time of addition, but you might later install a package. Okay, yeah, you might later install a package that would have the command that is your custom command. Okay, so when I install an official package, I recommend that you change your custom command so that the official package runs like exactly how it's supposed to do. Okay, good. So now it's done applying. You can run the macOS command and it's going to run as if you are writing your normal ls command. Okay, good. And yeah, that's basically it. Okay, so if I type ls, you realize that it didn't give me an alias like that I was supposed to run macOS instead. So I believe the reason is because ls is even shorter than macOS. Okay, so let's say if it were to be the other way around, then to likely give me the alias tip that I should have used the shorter version instead. Okay, good. Actually, it didn't, because typing macOS should have let me know that okay, I should use ls instead, but I didn't. But so I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because it's a default that I'm linking to. Like I'm actually linking to a default command or something. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure why. I think this is something that it's I don't know, but it's quite not normal, right? Yeah. I think it should give me a last tip because I'm linking to it. So now, no, I'm going to remove that custom command I just added. By I was just using it to show you that you can add any kind of command that you want as an alias. Okay, so let me save and exit, sorry, and then exec zsh to apply the changes, and now that macOS command will be gone. Whenever I run it again, it's going to throw an error. Okay, good. So let's continue. Now we are moving on to themes. Okay. So yeah, let's try again to see if it's working. Mac OS not working, command not found. If been able to remove it. Okay, good. So themes are a way to make your terminal beautiful. That's basically it. Okay. If I run my nano zsh, you realize that is my theme is Obi. Okay, Robbie Razzle, that's the default theme. Okay, so Robbie's theme is the default one. It's not the fanciest, it's not the simplest one, it's just the right one for him. For me too, just the right one. I remember I spent quite a lot of time, like a lot of hours, customizing my theme to make it like look fancy, but I just ended up changing it. Okay, it doesn't matter really. I just wanted to try them out, and I did, and they look like quite cool. Okay, but I just default back to the universal theme. Okay, but yeah, let's try out some non-default theme. Let's try out some other themes to see how they look like. Okay, so let's see the screenshots part. Let's see the screenshot part. Yeah, some of these. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's try some of these. Let's go to the theme overview. Um, no, no, no. Let's go to the actual theme wiki page. All right. So yeah, this is the default for Brazil theme. There are some pretty tight ones that you can try, like this. Let's try this one, agnoster. So a way to do it is you just have to remove this and save. Okay, then apply. Once it's done applying, you'll be able to see the change. Okay, I'm not going to stress about the theme. You can explore on your own. Just going to show you this example. So yeah, you can see how it's like. Okay, yeah, that's it. This is an example of the agnoster theme. Okay, I think there is a some 10x, there's some theme. It's called I've forgotten the name. So it's a pretty solid theme that you can use. Okay, it's very nice. But yeah, you can look into it. So that's it about theme. I'm just going to go back. Okay, I think I should show you something. Another cool thing you can do too. So let me go back to Robbie Russell. Another thing you can do is random. Where is the command? Yes. So we can set this to random. Let me show you. And write it out. Save, exit, exit. So what the random does is whenever you open a new terminal, it's going to apply a random theme to your current terminal. Okay. So yeah, currently this terminal is being loaded. Images. This is the current theme. Okay. When I open a new terminal, another theme is going to be applied. So if you don't want to worry about, so currently the Fouch theme is being applied. This is how it looks like. Just like this. Let me open. Another one is going to be applied. Well, you don't have to. Let me see. You don't have to keep opening new terminal. I think there's a shortcut to changing it. Um, yeah, this one loaded some. This is how it looks like. I think there is some zsh theme command. Let me quickly research. I think I've seen it before. So some add random. Okay, there is no current zsh command. Okay. Yeah, so you just have to reopen a new terminal and then to apply a new theme to it. Okay. Yeah, so let me try one more time, one last time. So what this one does is just pick any random. Currently is Duge theme. Okay. If you don't want random, okay, and you have specific um theme that themes that you like, and then you want the Oh My Zsh to randomly pick any of them, you can add your preferred or your favorite themes to the zsh. So you just have to comment this line out. Okay, you comment it out and you add all your custom themes to it, the themes that you like, you add them to it. Okay, and zsh is going to pick from this instead of just random themes. Okay, so this one looks quite nice. It looks pretty cool. It has time to in the terminal. Okay, but I don't fancy this stuff, so I'm just going to go back to my defaults. Robbie Russell, right? And exit back to my default. So yeah, that's it for the themes. You can check them out. Okay, and then yeah, apply them like however you see fit. Okay, so I think I've talked about pretty much everything that I need to talk about using Zsh and Oh My Zsh to boost your productivity. Okay, yeah. So I believe you found this video very helpful, and yeah, thank you for watching up to this point. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, go ahead and try them out. If you face or you come across any challenge, feel free to write it down in the comments, and I'll check it out and respond to you right away. Okay. So yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, thank you for it once again. Bye.